of Los Angeles, which is the busiest in the U.S., is seeing significantly less cargo and containers this month.
May overall has been a pretty light month, bookended by very low first week in volume, down more than 30%, as you mentioned. And here we are in the last week of the month, also down about 30% compared to the same time last year.
That chaos and confusion comes at a price, not just for investors or business owners, but for factory workers, for truck drivers, for restaurant owners, for the common normal people who make our world go round.
Dock workers on occasional ships have been down as much as 40%. Less cargo means fewer jobs. Truckers hauling fewer containers across the Southern California gateway. And realistically, that's going to hit home. If you're getting less hours on the job and you go to the market, the prices are higher, you get hit twice.
Our ports are emptying all across the country. The U.S. economy is in big trouble. Imports are collapsing by record amounts. Trade is grinding to a halt. Import data, manufacturing indicators, GDP growth figures have all turned negative. America is doing very poorly right now. We're going to show you the real numbers, and I'm afraid the picture is not pretty. It seems like the American economy is giving up, and that's because we're losing this trade war with ourselves. After all the big talk about America first and bringing manufacturing back, our economy is willing to crash instead. The U.S. just announced that GDP contracted by 0.3% in the first quarter, and the reason behind America's economic surrender is simple. The U.S. economy is crashing, and it's crashing fast. In fact, things have gotten so bad that professional forecasters announced they're slashing growth projections for the entire year. So you guys tell me, do you know of any economy in the world that can survive when imports collapse by 19.8% in a single month? I don't think so. The data is becoming so bad that even Goldman Sachs had to admit there's a 35% chance of recession. American technocrats understand that we can use underlying data to see through optimistic headlines about so-called soft landings and resilient consumers. We're seeing massive evidence that suggests claims of economic strength can't be true. The U.S. economy is actually contracting. We saw that from the GDP data for quarter one. We also saw it in import numbers for April, which clearly showed trade activity in complete freefall. Well, first of all, there are factory closures happening across America. We can't absorb the massive cost increases from tariffs because Trump's policies are keeping consumer spending depressed nationwide. These consumer-dependent businesses, especially those in retail and manufacturing sectors, have been struggling for months now. They certainly are at a point where they can't continue. This is weakening the entire economic foundation. Remember, consumer spending makes up 68% of GDP. And when Americans pull back because of higher prices, the whole economy suffers. The United States is not the all-powerful economic engine that it was pre-2025. As many of you guys may know, we've been calling this ever since the trade war started, that America is going to bend under the economic pressure because the U.S. economy cannot afford to continue this trade war.